medium, lower mediumship messages.
Ah, what an intro. Hey everybody, how y'all doing this evening? I'm in a good mood today. Not quite sure why, but let's not question these wonderful things that happen. Welcome to the show. As usual, I will be doing mediumship first, and donations take the highest priority. There's also another way to get priority in the queue besides calling in early. I have a couple of people who did that as well. But I do have a live video feed of the show, a live webinar version of the show. And if you felt so inclined as to join the webinar, you would be given priority as well. So I hope that makes sense. First, I do mediumship. Second, I do live readings. And priority comes with donations with using the 8 no wait. And I'll tell you how to do that in a moment, or entering the video, which is at the website for the show. And the website for this show is spiritmediumtv.com. That's spiritmediumtv.com. There you can watch the show live. Down the page, you'll see a video feed of me. If you enter that webinar, you'll get a priority in the queue, but that priority goes behind a couple of other priorities. One is I do 2 mediumships at the beginning of the show. That means connecting to loved ones in the spirit realm. And then the highest priority always goes to those who've made a donation, which goes in part to help an animal charity, of which I donate monthly. So thank you so much, everyone. I'm oh so very grateful to have you here. It's always fun to have a radio show when people show up. You know what I mean? Today's focus subject is going to be about aliens. Ooh, and angels. Ooh. And perhaps those that we worship might actually be extraterrestrials, or those that mistake or have alien encounters might actually be having encounters with spiritual beings. That's the kind of thing I've stumbled into lately. But before I go into that focus subject, I just wanted to highlight 1 or 2 more things that can be had or gotten at spiritmediumtv.com. The first of which is to book a reading with me, a special private session. You will, as a radio show listener, obtain a third more time free than that for which you pay when you go to booklaura.com. That's book, B-O-O-K, Laura, Laura.com. That's where you book your appointments with me. And when you make your payment, just figure that you will automatically be getting a third more time if you put in the event code field radio show. Gee, I hope I made that clear. In the event code field, radio show, and you will get a third more time free. So if you ordered 30 minutes, you'll get a third of that, which is 10 minutes extra. Ooh, goody. That equivocates with a 25% discount. So consider it an ongoing sale. Alrighty, so back to the focus subject. So I'm going to do a focus subject, then I'm going to do a group channeled message, then I'm going to go to the phone lines, taking mediumship first, donations come in priority, and then life readings. Okay, so I was talking a little bit about this whole idea of, you probably heard it already, was God an astronaut sort of thing, but more on a specific level. I had a little time on my hands recently. I do this particular work and I enjoy it very much, but I have a lot of time on my hands because I don't work full time anymore. Yay! I'm kind of old, so there's a price to pay for everything. In any event, I had a little time on my hands. So as I am wont to do, I decided to go to YouTube and find something that seemed interesting to me. And the subject that came up was UFOs and aliens. I mean, you have to be dead not to wonder about that. And I always like to look at things a little bit more scientifically. And I, I know this is an odd subject to put the word scientific into, but I like to I like to see some credibility, anything I'm looking at. So at first I had some videos on one crazy guy who was talking about this stuff. He just didn't sound like I could believe his subject. But then as I continued to search, I found this particular woman who had very long, she was being interviewed or she's making presentations. Her name is Sherry Wilde, Wilde. Well, let me tell you, her story is pretty wild. She said was an alien abductee. She says something that's a little, to me, a little strange. But anyway, who's to say what's strange anymore, right? I mean, the Middle Ages are behind us, and the world is not flat. Okay, so I'm open-minded. Anyway, she said she had 48 children that were hybrids from outer space, and she was abducted several times, and so on and so forth. But the thing that interested me, that's kind of corny to me, or I don't really understand it. I'll just say it that way. I'm trying to be nice, everybody. The thing that kind of interested me is that she started to realize, as this was going on for years, that the beings she was speaking to were more spiritual. They were less physical and more energy like. And it got me. The reason it got me is because, okay, please don't hang up your phones on me. But I have had experiences which have led me to believe that I am what is commonly called these days a star seed. And as I continue to do research on this subject, I have found so many points about my own life, the way I experience my psychic ability, how it came in, little journeys I had growing up, things like that I kind of coordinate with these stories. I do. So to me, that's a bit of validation. Anyway, I loved her. And so there's an article on my website called Pleiadian Message. Are aliens our angels? So if you're listening to this at a future point in time, and you're on my website, go to my website. And if you're on the website page for the radio show, which is spiritmediumtv.com, or any page on my website, there's a search bar at the top. Just put in aliens, angels, and you'll be taken to this article. And the meat of the article, I'll just jump to that and then we'll go to our channel group message. The meat of the article is what I believe I've been hijacked to Earth to do, what my volunteer work is as a starseed. And I believe that I'm supposed to be learning and then teaching, either just by my presence, if you will, how we create reality and how to create reality. And as we move up these vibrational path, as we evolve as spiritual beings, creating reality is a prerequisite. In other words, it's what you're supposed to do. Otherwise, you won't evolve. If you're going to stay in the fear category, where I don't have something, I don't have love, or I don't have money, or I don't have health, if you're going to stay in that illusion of not having what you want, separated from what you want, you're not evolving. But the opportunity on Earth today is such, we have a great opportunity to evolve. And what does that mean? It's not just like you're graduating, which is kind of boring. It's not just about graduating. It's about joy. The more you learn how to create, the more joy you're going to have, the less strife you're going to have, the less struggle you're going to have. You're going to evolve from fear, which is false evidence appearing real, like I don't have something, that's false evidence, to love, which is a connection with higher power and source, and you at a higher vibrational level, where you literally, by utilizing your intention, by utilizing your mind, start to understand that reality is not objective. It's literally a projection of what you are seeing in your reality. So the focus of this entire article and the focus of this entire speech is, what are you seeing in your reality? because I betcha you're creating it. So what came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, the first thing that comes in is a thought. So what are you thinking? What are you seeing? What are you observing? What is your reality? And that you can shift that by making new choices, no matter how difficult life gets, making different choices and then affirming them. I like to use a mantra in meditation, affirming, like an affirming mantra of what I want. So for example, let's say that you want love, you don't have love. Well, the mantra would be love. You could just say love here, love me, I am love, I am love. That could be a mantra, I am love. Anyway, there's a lot to be said on the subject. That's another subject called the Joy Secret. And if you get to this article, I have a link to the Joy Secret, which is a technique for setting intention and creating your reality. And I'm going to now move to the group message. So if you would please, everybody, we're going to do a little meditation before I go into a channeled group message. Oh, might as well say this before I do that. I'm now channeling. It won't go away. I've been trying to get other ones. I'm a natural channel. That's kind of my specific focus, if you will. And I began channeling spirit without ever studying it. A reader, a psychic reader, put out some tarot cards and said, your guides are trying to come through. And since then, I've been pretty much able to channel anything and anything that has consciousness, if you will, or energy even. Channeling is a very interesting technique, shall we call it? And even I am now channeling the ones, and the ones I believe are the collective unconscious. They're also the highest level, closest to the energy of the all that is, which would be called God. And they've been calling themselves by various different names to me over the years, the Elohim or the Seven Sisters, or the Seven Archangels. These are all terminologies that have a human context, but pretty much mean the same thing. They are the original creators of the universe, and they are the closest to the energy of the universe. They created matter from thought. So the ones I believe are part of that, but if they decide to tell you, they'll tell you more. Let's not get too hung up on that. Okay, so everybody listening, if you would please sit back and cross your arms and legs. Start to breathe from your abdominal area. Breathing in deeply and relaxing on the exhale. Feeling good about yourself. If you have a life question, that's a question about your own life this evening, please focus in on that issue. It could be health, it could be love, it could be money, whatever it is. Focus, focus, focus. Breathing in deeply from your abdomen and exhaling. If you are calling for an other side connection, please call in your loved one or loved ones now and have them sit down with you in the room or space you're in. While you do that, I will silently invoke the Master Prayer. I will be back in a second. And now, on your next exhale of breath, if you would please release into your space, I will connect us. One moment, please. Okay, just give me a moment while I call in the ones or whoever is going to come in this evening. We are here. We are the ones indeed. We are your energy of love. We connect with you through love. When you are feeling good about yourself, you are connecting better with us. Those of you who remain in a state of discord and disharmony block the good that is available to you. So each of you, we would like you to take an inventory right now. What is it that is on your mind, that is worrying you, that makes you feel anxious, less than, disconnected, unloved, unhealthy, less than something that you would like. Think about that thing now for a moment, please. And now we would like you to say to that thing, go away, release from me. Allow me to go back into what I call a joy sequence of thought, of thinking, of being. In the joy sequence, in the joy mode, one will connect better with love, which is the vibration from which we come. Love will heal you. Love will open you to greater and greater good. It is only through being positive about all things, releasing what you consider to be worry and negativity, and believing that everything that happens for a good reason, not a negative reason, and understanding that behind that release or that letting go is something better for you. Those of you that follow this particular formula will have the most joy in the end. Namaste. Hard to do sometimes, right, everybody? I'm going to go to the first person who is waiting for a mediumship connection and actually did make a donation, and that would be Kim. So Heather, I'll get to you next. Hi, Kim. Hi, how are you, love? Really? That's all right, love. That's fine. You're supposed to be on your phone. I hear you beautifully. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, well, I can take the other person first. Okay. Heather did not make a donation, but she's waiting. Yeah. And now you go to your new location. Yeah. Yeah. I'll get you next. Okay. Oh, okay. You're there now. Okay. Fine. Just relax, love. And make sure that you're comfortable now. I don't want you to be uncomfortable. It helps, by the way, if you are comfortable. And I hope that you have. Okay, so let's see who's around you in the spirit realm. And we will work it that way. Kim, I like that grateful Kim, by the way, that name you have for yourself. Hold on, Kim 561. You're a loving person, somebody in spirit is telling you. Do not haggle or worry about yourself anymore. You will be helped and given everything you need. Now, Kim, what are you doing in the background, sweetheart? I thought you were in your car. Yeah, I just need you to settle in before I start because believe it or not, you are part of the session. You are like a beam of energy. And if your mind is not on the situation, then neither can the medium's mind connect. Just relax, right? Just relax. There's two feelings I have around you. One is more of a mother figure or mothering energy. The other one is more like a child energy. And maybe it's your mother looking at you as a child, or maybe you literally have a child in the spirit realm. I don't know. But I have to say, I see a teddy bear in front of me, and I hear, Mommy, Mommy, Mommy. Hold on. Please settle in now. And I want you to think of who it is, love, because you're all just unfocused right now. Okay, so let me just refocus you a little bit. You're a very spiritual person. You have very loving energy. Mother is here for you. Okay, mother is here for you. So there's a mother figure in spirit realm who wants to come forward first. And I'm going to go in that direction, if that's okay with you, Kim. All right? Okay. Yeah, now I don't know who you have in mind. There's also father. I feel father energy or male energy to you. Now you may not have your direct line. In other words, your mother and father may be on earth, but you would have grandparents then. So let me just see who it is, love. So there is a woman that presents. She's a little bit wider in build, or a little bit stockier in build. She also has a little bit of a tilting back and forth when she walks, like as if her legs are a little bit wide or whatever. She's just gotten stockier, as people do when they get older. It also looks like her hair is on the darker brown side. She does have white in it. Now, would you know of anyone in the family like that, honey, please? Or anybody? I want you to open your mind. Yes, please. Yeah, and she's a little bit on the, she's a little heavy set. I'll just say it like that, and a little bit more, yeah, a little stockier build. She also has a very dark brown hair in her, younger years. But it looks like she doesn't lose the darkness. She just has some white in it. As she gets older. In other words, you can still see the undertones of darkness to it. It looks like she has a wider nose, particularly not on the bridge, but at the tip, where the nostrils would be and all that's a little bit wider. She's high cheekbones. She's a calm and easygoing personality, a very sweet person, and she loves you dearly, actually, and hands you a rose to stand for love. And also, she says something about you not getting into any more trouble in your life on your own now. Something about you being on your own now. You're very upset about something. And she says she wants to come in to greet you and tell you not to feel so alone anymore, because you're not alone. Everybody in spirit is paying attention to you and knows there's a tragic loss or some kind of a loss that's going on around you right now. Now, let me see if I can pull in what that is. I have a funny feeling it might have something to do with somebody in the spirit realm. She's sort of opening the gateway for everybody. I don't usually do 2 or 3 connections, but I have to because of the circumstance. Okay. So she's sort of like opening the gate for somebody else to come in. A richer energy for you. In other words, more important for you and closer to you energetically. Okay. Who is it, please? Now, your mother is still on Earth, correct? Okay. And your father is as well. All right. All right. Well, then maybe it's your father, because you did say a moment ago your father wanted to come through, but that can, sometimes when they say that, it doesn't mean grandfather. But I also have a funny feeling about somebody else. 1 second, please. Okay, I'm having a problem bringing anyone in because your mother-in-law wants to give you a personal message. So I have to give the message, and maybe we can go to somebody, maybe we can get more than your mother-in-law. Otherwise, maybe this completes the connection. There's something about a lot of discord going on in your house right now. You feel very alone right now. You're not getting things done on your own. You need a lot of guidance right now. And it's like you feel like you can't win for losing, or you're pushing a boulder up a hill all alone on your own. It feels, now, would you understand that, please?
I do understand that.
All right. She's saying all this for a reason. You have a son on Earth, please, alive, yes? Yes. Oh, okay. All right. Well, let me just. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. I maybe that's where the discord is. I don't know, and maybe that's why she's coming in. But let me just see something here. You feel very alone right now. She says she's coming in to give you moral support about something, a loss in the home, a loss of a family member that's not treating you very well. When she says loss, I don't believe she means transition. I think she just means you feel lost, alone, and afraid, and you're trying to get things done on your own. You're not getting any support from anyone around you. No one is listening to you. No one is getting going on the things you need help with, and you feel very lost alone. All right, so now I understand. She's coming in to give you that moral support. And I would assume from the way you're talking that it might have something to do with your husband or somebody else around there, but it seems like all fingers seem to be pointing in that direction. You feel very lost, alone, and afraid right now. Her message is don't worry about the past. Everything will be healed, and you will find a new beginning soon. Money will get better. Money will get better, and everyone around you will begin to cooperate shortly. She says it's darkest before the dawn. It's darkest before the dawn. and everything is going, the doors will open for you. Everything is going to get better. I feel that there's some kind of feels like something like a job or something is either coming in for you or the other person in your life that is one of the roots of the problem. That, in other words, when we don't have sustenance, we don't have dollars coming in, there could be a lot of discord, and people don't act properly when that's going on. She says all that is going to change. Doors are going to be opening for everyone. And she also says he's a good boy. Please take care of him. Please take care of him for me. I love him so much as I love you. She says, you know what I mean. And she gives you a big loving hug and a kiss, and again hands you that rose. She says to you, it's all about Rose, isn't it? Yeah. Rose means love. I don't know. There could be a rose person, but I always give literally, but I got the impression, I always get impressions with these messages, that there might be a rose name, also a Rosalie or a Rose, but there also, oh, okay. Well, then that's the name part of it. Um, it's all about Rose. And then the other part of it is that she says the word Rose is not only supposed to be a namesake, but also supposed to be the idea that it's all about love. So she's playing on this, right? It's like a three-part orchestra all in one note. So it's all about Rose. It's all about Rose. And she says, you know what I mean. All right. Yeah. All right, sweetheart. So I'm going to let you go. You have a lot to chew on there. Okay, love? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think your father is probably who you wanted to get this advice from. But she, spirit always. Oh, okay. All right, good. Oh, interesting. And that's how, that the reason I'm laughing is because that's how spirit will work. And by the way, everybody listening, and Kim, you included, but I think you already figured it out, is that spirit is going to give you what you need. And that's why, as mediums, there's many reasons, but one of them is we're allowing spirit to give what's needed. They have a 360 degree of everything, they see everything. So when we try to control things, we may not get what we need. It also, they have the strong, right? The strongest energy needs to be addressed as well. And the reason that your mother-in-law was the strongest energy is because spirit was supporting that particular connection. And so I thank you so much, dear. I thank you so much for allowing us to speak. All right, love. God bless. Bye bye. Okay. And we're going to go to Heather, who is also wanting mediumship, and then the donations in the queue. There is a donation for life reading, and then I'll go to regular readings. Okay, so Heather, how are you this evening, darling? Oh, wonderful. Wow. Oh, oh, thank you, sweetheart. Life can be very challenging, right? We all know that. So that's, sometimes I feel like I'm hacking through a brick wall in life. So I always try to bring the brighter side to it. Okay, so let's see who's there for you. Let's see who's there for you in spirit. I'm going to connect energetically. I kind of got a couple of feelings. One was more of a mother, then I felt the father, then I felt the mother again. Let me see. Heather 850. Who wants to step forward for Heather? Okay. Well, I'm being moved more towards your mother figure for you. That could actually be your mother or grandmother or an aunt or mother-in-law. You know, there's a lot of different people that could be. I will give you what I'm getting right now. It's just a dark shadow there. Let's see what this soul wants to do with that. Okay. I'm going to ask Spirit to please give me somebody a little closer to you. Because I'm getting somebody who would be one or two generations back. I don't want to go that far back. Please bring in somebody closer to Heather. I have to use it. Okay. This is so far back. It's like 1890s, 1910, a great grandmother or something. But there's something to be gotten from this. And maybe if I get it, I can move closer to you. It feels like you come from, whoever this is showing me, coming from a very structured, high quality family. There's a lot of pride there, good breeding. There's something to be said here about this. There's a reason for it. I can't ignore it. I have to say, whoever it is who's coming in, a grandmother, mother, it looks like more mother's side. I was trying to say you come from a very long line of lovely people. And there's a reason for that, Kim, because you need to hear something about that and feel good about, to make you feel good about yourself. But I'm going to try to move it up a little bit in time. But there's something about this message is important. So we never ignore any of the messages. Okay, so now there is somebody coming in a little closer. There's a lot of sadness around you and in the family right now. There's been a few losses of late, not just one, but one of them is a standout for you. And I still can't see this person. I don't know who it is. The words are just sort of coming in here. Please present. Sadness, a lot of sadness. Okay, that's nice. The problem with whoever this is, I'm feeling it's a mother figure. Okay, for you again, I'm still on the mother figure thing. There's a childlike quality about this particular person. I also feel that there's something internally in the lung area and also the intestines of the bowels that's troubling to this person as she's moving towards the latter part of her life. She looks like she's slender, and she also looks very, there's something childlike about her, slender and childlike. Now, that could mean a lot of things. It could mean that this person was just naive, or it could mean that this person always had a childlike attitude towards things. It could also mean that the mental state was degrading so that she'd need a lot of care. I can't pick it up. I feel like I'm a little bit lost in the Bermuda Triangle around you. So what I'm going to do, because I don't usually do this, is there's some reason for all of this happening, Heather, and I have to come to you. Who are you wanting? Because there's something more to this than I realize.
Well, I have understand
Oh, okay. Well, let me show. Okay, makes sense. Because okay, so I also see her slender. I also see the hair is about right under the ear. It's a little bit. It's more like a Dutch boy cut, not with bangs though, but it's less. Some people have fluffy hair all around the head. Hers is more like blunt cut right around the ears, if you will. Okay, now she's giving me a picture. Okay, now she is giving me a clear picture of herself. Um, it was almost like she was coming in with dementia. And now she's giving, now she cleared that and she's showing me her face, which is, it's, she was a beauty when she was younger. I could see the bone structure. She's high cheekbone. She has doe lips, but she's weathered in the vision she's giving me here of older with wrinkles and that kind of a thing. And a gray, the hair is gray. It does look like she might have worn bangs at certain times. The vision she's giving me right now, I said before, I didn't see bangs, but now I do see bangs. But she says they were on and off her face. Sometimes they were in her face, sometimes off her face. She has dark eyes. Would you know that for mom with dark eyes, please? Okay, we'll leave that alone then. But would you understand that she, well, you already confirmed that she had high cheekbones and she was quite a beauty. But she does get weathered and old looking as she moves towards her transition years. Would you agree that she was weathered and older looking, please, at that time? And do you know the haircut was more blunted at the ears rather than all fluffy around the face? All right, so we got a couple of confirmations. And we already know dementia was there. I also feel that there's something going on in the chest cavity around the heart. She might have had a heart problem as well, or cardiovascular, even though you're telling me she's dementia. There's also something going on with the heart. I'm asking her to fill that in for me. Well, dementia is the primary cause of transition, but it's creating bodily shutdown. Would you understand that, please, from what you know, please, Kim, about mom?
Yeah.
All right. So she's got a couple of things going on with the body. It's mostly because the brain can't really run the body very well. There's something very aggressive about this. It's not a normal sort of dementia. It's a more aggressive form, if you will. And as you know, Kim, yeah, they come in all shapes, forms. Dementia comes in all shapes, forms, and sizes. She had one that was extremely aggressive and was fairly quick in the way it took over her life and her body. And it was a very, sad. There's a lot of sadness around that. And I also would like to add, I'm just going to confirm with her before I go into this. I think she might have had a lot of distemper towards the end. She might have had a lot of fear, or she might have been acting out a lot emotionally. The reason I say that is because she showed me herself as if the very first vision, as if she was like, oh, frightened of things, or acting very, very, upset at times. She says care was given to her, palliative care. She says she was at home most of that time. She was not given a lot of, she wasn't given much hope for getting better, obviously, and that she really was at home a lot towards the end of her life. So she's showing me herself with palliative care, and that she's near the home. I don't see her in an institution, or at least she's saying that. Now, would you understand that, please?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. I also feel that there's a male to you, like a brother, not in spirit, but that you have a brother. Would you understand that, please?
Yes.
All right. Because she's pointing these things out as evidence. Now we're going to move to more of a personal message. All right, love? So, Mom, do you want to give your beautiful daughter a personal message, please? You're taking care of everything well. She says, in the home, for us, for me, for everyone. She says, you're under a lot of stress right now. And like the burden of the world and it's all on your shoulders right now. She says, you really have to learn how to let go of stress better than you've been handling it, because you're sort of beside yourself. She's using the word grief. Hold on. What do you mean by that, Mom? Grief. You're very grief-ridden, she says right now. You've lost someone else in the home that is extremely close to you. And she says, that's very difficult for you. She says she wishes that she could help you better than these words, because they're just words. She says, but she knows your loss, and she wishes that she could hold your hand through it. Now, have you lost anyone else, please, close to you, Heather?
Yes.
All right. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it felt like somebody that was lateral. The losses, they're not coming through right now, but we'll just take your mother for this evening, and her words of just, she sees that you're carrying away the world on your shoulders, and she wishes that you could let go of all this grief. She loves you so much, but through her appearance this evening, She hopes that you understand that life does continue and that you shouldn't feel alone because we are all looking out for you. Okay, my sweet? Thank you, love. Have a beautiful evening, Heather. Thank you so much. Thank you, honey. Okay, thank you, love. Okay, I'm going to go to the first person made a donation, and that would, for a regular reading, that would be Cindy, and Cindy is at 413. There she is. Hey, Cindy, my BFF. Oh, great. It's so great to hear from you, everybody. I know Cindy for a long while. First met her at a mediumship circle in Palm Beach Gardens at Jamar's Enlightenment Center. And that night, I think there were 18 people in the audience. And oh God, by the end of it, I was like so tongue-tied. Anyway, and then you came back a few more times. Yeah. All right, sweetie. All right. So you have a question. Go ahead and ask it.
I'm going to
All right, let me just start with that. Hold on for a second. Cindy Q, is it the right direction or the wrong direction for herself? Yeah, it's a good choice. Feels like you're moving back somewhere, going back somewhere. Are you thinking of going back to your original place where you used to live? All right. Well, it feels like you're making the right decision. Let me just give you some more details for clarification and confirmation. Cindy Q. There's a lot of anger there. Hold on. You're going to be doing the right things. You don't need to worry so much about change. Everything is going to fall into place. I do feel that there is a move in store for you. It does have something to do with returning to something from before, maybe not from another place you came from, but there's some kind of move and returning to something you did before or a place you lived before, and that you're going to like. Yeah, it's like it's going to be very familiar to you. You're going to like it very much. You're going to fit in well, and it's going to all work out very, very nicely for you. It might have something to do with work. And I also feel that you might be working more years than you originally thought. In other words, you might say, well, I could retire now, but you're probably going to be working for a little longer than you had originally expected because of this breakup. It's a setback. Right? But it's all going to work out really well. And I feel around you a lot of happiness, a relief, and a very, very good outcome for this. So a couple of things. Okay. Yeah, there's a move. I do see a move. Well, of course you're going to have a move. I kind of don't feel you're leaving the home. I feel like you're, say it again. I feel like you're leaving the home. And he's more either going to stay in the home that you're in, physical home, or he'll be moving somewhere else. But I feel you're going to be finding new situation to live in. Perhaps, yeah, I think you would like that better, they're telling me. And that I also feel it has something to do with work and that you would be closer to work. Now, I don't know why they give me a feeling of work, but I need to go to that because I know that you were a nurse. I don't know if you're still doing it, but I know that you were a nurse. All right. Hold on. It's going to be closer to. Okay. Well, there's something about wherever you're going to move is going to be closer to work. And I think that the doing the nursing that you used to do is the thing that we're talking about feeling comfortable in it. And it's a return to something from before, like an old home, if you will, but it's not a home, it's just a role that you had. There's something about that It's going to be very good for you. It will help clear your mind because of the fact that there is a little travel involved, moving around, different scenery. It's more distracting for you than being in the same location all the time, so that it can help you clear your mind and move forward. But ultimately, you are going to have to, yeah, and ultimately you are going to have to work a little longer to get to retirement with this arrangement. But in the end, it will all be good. Um, and I see positive things. I keep hearing and I see you're going to like it all very, very much. You are liking this decision. I always see sons around you, and there was a boy who was in your home that was like a son, and one of them you lost. I'm going to see what they want to. They're showing me that again. I just need to see why. I do feel that. Well, it's not another side connection. You still have a son that's alive, right, love? You still have a son. I think he's going to come with you for the move, even though he's not that young anymore. I think he might be coming with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do feel that he's going to I think he's going to want to do that, which is a little annoying to you. But on the other hand, it could be a little annoying. They're telling me you might not want to do that. Yeah, you might not want to do that because right now the opportunity for joy in the situation is being free. Being free.
Yeah.
See, and right, and having him around is going to, although you love him, is going to be a little restricting or constricting. Right now, you don't want to have to answer to anyone.
Yeah.
Right, and that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why the traveling nurse thing will work for you so well, because you're kind of your own boss. You see, right? There is accountability, but it gives you a lot more freedom. So everything's all about freedom right now, right? Everything's about freedom. So that's it. Okay, so basically, I see that probably return to the prior work, and it makes sense because it's all about the freedom thing right now, and getting your own place with your own location, everything else, and being on your own as much as possible right now. For the next 5 years at least, is going to be perfect for you. Yeah, there will be. I was just thinking about that. Let me see. Well, first of all, you're going to need to get your feet on the ground. Okay. Yeah. But I see you staying pretty much in the Palm Beach area. I see you moving closer towards when you make this one move, closer towards the water. Not on the water, but just a little farther east, because it's going to be more more exciting. And then I see it's going to take about a year before you meet somebody new that you're going to really want to spend some time with, because as mentioned before, right now it's just about getting situated, creating a new life for yourself, and clearing out the past, and creating a new life where you're free. So.
Yeah.
But I do see somebody coming in probably about a year from now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right, love. Thank you so much, Cindy, for calling in. Love working with you. Bye. Bye, honey. Thanks. Okay, I'm going to go to Jay, who has an interesting question. Jay, go ahead. Give me the question. Sure. Sorry you had to wait so long. Drama. Oh, go ahead, honey. Go. Oh. What? Okay. Well, all right. Thank you for expressing yourself. I'm not going to answer psychically just yet, but I want to let you know the first two things that come in. When we give without expectation so that we're not disappointed. If we are giving with and I know you didn't give it expecting, but when you didn't get the kind of thank you that you thought was appropriate, then you got disappointed. So it's a wake-up call to remember that every time you give something to someone, they may or may not respond in the way that you deem appropriate, right? So that you kind of get impersonal about it and you don't get hurt or you don't get disappointed. The second thing I want to say is to make it a generalization. In the age of technology, we become less formal or less appreciative. Well, we're projecting a negative thought. It's probably better to say, well, let's not project that. I just want to remind you of that. What we see in our reality, we're going to create in our reality. So let's say, they said thank you. They said it in the way they could. And I want to look under the hood on this a little bit for you to see what the gestalt of the relationship is. Maybe the person didn't feel worthy of the gift. Maybe the person, well, there could be so many reasons for this. You know what I mean? Who did you give it to? A brother or a friend? Who did you give the gift to? A teacher. Yeah. All right. Well, let me just see what that person. So that person wasn't very grateful. It's a teacher of yours. And then give me the initials if you can. And if you can't, because it's public, then just give me another set of initials. Spirit will work out the connection. Give it to me, please. I just want to see what's going on with this. A is an apple, I is an Ingrid. Okay. It's a female, please. She's a very nice person, actually. Even though she didn't give you the response that you thought was deemed appropriate. Let me just see what's going on here with this. Would you understand that she might want to keep the relationship on a more impersonal level, please? Jay? That's what yeah. And that's why it was a public statement versus a personal note to you to deflect. But I do hear she is a nice person underneath, outside of that behavior. And I want to see what else we can get here for you. It's not even that she has to keep you at arm's length. Not that you've ever created any kind of an issue for her or anything. It's just that she feels that it's deemed appropriate to keep these student-teacher relationships very impersonal. So the reaction is impersonal because that's how she thinks she should be acting. That's her value system, and that's the way she thinks she should be acting with a student. There's something also about giving a gift to a teacher could also be construed as perhaps wanting special favoritism or anything like that. So again, it is very important that she keeps it very much on the up and up and an impersonal connection. So it's a good thing that you brought all this up because it helps us understand how I do it myself, how we assume certain things. But indeed, I don't see it as her as the fault of technology or the fault of where we are today. I see her more as a person who just wants to keep this more impersonal and deflect it rather than allow it to be too connected to her. So I guess moral of the story is next time you give a gift, think of who you're giving it to and think about, I do this. I mean, once I gave my nephew $35,000 and I said to myself as I was giving the gift, I may never see the money again. And it was true. I never did see the money again. Did I get upset? Yeah, I was a little upset. And were there thank yous? No, not many, not any. So like when we give, we have to do it without any expectation, so we are not disappointed. Okay, Jay? Yeah.
Okay.
All right, sweetheart. Thank you, love. Have a beautiful evening, honey. Thanks. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm going to go to Laura, who's been waiting very, very patiently. Go ahead, Laura. Give me your question as quickly as you can, love, because we're near the end. I want to see what I can give you. Laura, you there? But you know, she waits all this time, and when I get to her, she's gone. All right, I'll put you back. I guess we won't be able to get to her. I will go to Tricia, who's called in, I believe, from England. Tricia, are you in England right now? Are you in England? Hi, are you in England? Yeah, where are you located right now? Are you in England or where are you calling?
No, I'm not in mountain.
Oh, well, don't. Oh, well, don't make me jealous. The mountains of California sound good to me, unless there's a mudslide. Okay, sweetheart, give me your question. Give me your question, please.
I have a quick comment too, because you were talking about the star seeds, and I actually wrote a novel called The Star Seeds.
Really?
In 2020. Yeah.
Oh. Oh, how wonderful. Give me the name of the book, please. All right. I'll look for it. And I don't want you to say, yeah, I don't want you to say your last name here, unless you don't mind saying it. If others want to, yeah, well, you may want to say it. Is it under a pen name or is it under your name, Tricia? Okay, well, look for it. How exciting. What were you going to say? Okay. So you were at home minding your own business, and suddenly you have a vision of someone you know from the past. Hold on. Were you drinking red wine at the time? All of a sudden, they showed me red wine. Hold on, let me just go to him. Why? Give me his initials, please. Tricia? I couldn't hear. D is in dog, H is in D like in David, H like in Harry?
Yeah.
Okay, DH, okay. Feels to me like he is, he's sort of like he's like doing a life review at this time, going into the past, thinking about people he knew. You would be one of them, but there's a sense, I don't know how to put this into meaningful context just yet, but there's a sense of like he's draining things out of him. He's removing things out of himself. Like he just wants to clear the past and move towards the future. You know, I could say, well, he's thinking about you lately, but it's more than that. It's like he's clearing things, clearing the past. And I want to find out why. Hold on. Okay, let me just. All right, well, let me just do this one. I'm having trouble getting his getting that answer. Hold on. He wants to let go of the past so he can move towards the future. He's not interested in connecting with you anymore, but he is releasing the past. He's literally done things to remove his past so he can move towards the future. That could mean a lot of things, because it also could mean he's, well, I don't even want to say that, but the bottom line is he is releasing the past to move towards the future. He's letting go of old things, baggage, hang-ups, misconceptions, things that didn't work out right, woulda, coulda, shouldas, and potentialities that didn't work out. He's moving through a life transition. He's letting go. He wants to let go because he wants to move to something new. The new thing would be either, this may sound a little weird, but a transition to a higher frequency. Well, I guess we were just talking about star seeds, but like as if he's moving to a higher frequency. And yeah, he is. And it's like an ascension for him, or it literally could mean he's leaving the physical plane and moving into a spiritual or energetic plane. But basically, there's a lot of letting go, a lot of releasing the past going on with him right now. He might even be going to shamans of sorts and doing ritual of release work for him, but he's letting go of the past. He does have fond memories of you, but he needs to let go of that because there's something there that holds him from moving forward. And that would be it, my dear. I hope that makes sense to you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
All right, sweetheart. God. Oh, wonderful. All right, love. For some reason or other, I saw you drinking red wine. It sounds good. I'm going to get off the lines now and go have a little red wine. Have a beautiful evening. Have a beautiful evening, Tricia. Bye-bye, love. Bye-bye. Thanks. Bye-bye. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for calling in, and I look forward to working with you next Monday, again at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Namaste.